Right then, this is a quick walk around video, and this is for, actually it's my wife's car. This is a Honda CR-V 2.2 EX diesel automatic. You can see here, 64 plate, the car's covered 73,000 miles with a full service history attached to the car, and it benefits from, I always try and get on my own cars, this full exterior pack. So it's got the little chrome strip underneath the front bumper there, same on the rear bumper. It's got side steps, rear spoiler and door protector mouldings as well. So it's a very, very nicely equipped car which looks absolutely stunning. No doubt the video will not do justice to it, unfortunately. Front of the car, really, really clean. Lights and lenses, clear, no condensation or cracks in those. Front bumper again, very, very clean indeed. Likewise, bonnet of the car, hardly a stone chip anywhere on it at all. For the mileage of the car and the age, extraordinary really. Coming to the near side, absolutely mirror smooth in the panels. Near side front alloy, the one takes all of the bashing and there's not a mark on it. Near side rear, getting really good, just a little bit of light curbing right on the outside edge. But very light indeed. And my favourite angle for these CR-Vs with the packs, for this angle here, looks absolutely stunning. It's all wonderfully subtle, but adds so much presence to the car. The white with the privacy glass and the black glass panoramic roof just is a wonderful combination. And then going to the offside, driver's side, again, just lovely in the panel work, no indentations, absolutely clean. Offside rear alloy, unmarked, and then remaining panel work is, as I said, extraordinarily clean. Final alloy, again, completely unmarked. So externally, it is in genuinely absolutely beautiful condition. Coming to the boot area, they are absolutely huge in the back, and it's been kept very, very well. This is obviously the odd light mark which you're going to get with any estate car with this age of mileage, but compared to some I've seen, it is far, far better than most. Let's come into the back of the car, again, all very, very clean. This car benefits from proper Honda rubberized mats, which are pretty much essential if you're going to be doing things like walking, kids, dogs, that kind of thing. We've just got the kids and they make enough mess, but that's why we invest in them. The driver's door card, again, all very, very clean and tidy. Front passenger seat there, again, just looks pretty much as new in all honesty. So finally, coming to the driver's door card, again, all wonderfully clean, rather. No sort of nasty sort of key marks or scratches. The driver's seat, the one that takes all the bashing, and this is one of the very best you'll see at any age or mileage on the car. So inside the car now, engine's running through this section, so the dashboard can be seen illuminated. So it's getting a little bit darker now, so I do apologise. But the dashboard looks pretty much as new. Big screen sat nav, all working perfectly. We'll pop the car into reverse there. You get that lovely clear gridded parking camera, which obviously supplements the parking sensors front and rear on the car. Again, all working absolutely as they should, but been kept very, very, very well indeed. Come to the main dashboard, or binnacle rather, you can see there 72,342 miles, and there are no warning lights on whilst the engine's running. A really lovely car, we absolutely love them, and we'll get another one, which is what we always do. Boring, but there we go, that's what we like. Right then, this is a road test video, and this is for a Honda CR-V 2.2 EX automatic diesel, registered HJ64DAA. So we can put the mileage up on there. The mileage is currently 72,343 miles. As I say in all the videos, the reason for doing it is very simple indeed. We just want to make sure that anyone that's looking at our cars online actually gets to see the car they're looking at in operation. The reason we feel it's important is very simple. It's basically because we know to our cost how frustrating it can be to travel long distance to go and see a car, only to get there and find out when you drive it, it's got a fault which shows up whilst you're test driving the car. So that is why we're doing it. It's also done on these lovely quiet country roads, and this actually forms part of the test drive route any prospective buyer would go on. The reason for that is we'd hope it then be representative of what you'd feel yourself should you be offered a test drive in the car. As you probably know from the walk around video, this is actually my wife's car. We only keep them for a short period of time. We've had umpteen CR-Vs, too many to count in all honesty, and we'll get another CR-V because it's just what we love. So we obviously don't lose much money, but obviously also don't have to pay company car tax in the normal way. We change them on a regular basis, so that's why we do it. But the car's fantastic, But as I always do, I'll go through the main bits of the car for you, starting with the engine. So obviously push button start, and it starts immediately and settles to a completely smooth, even idle. There are no warning lights on the dashboard at all relating to the engine or any other part of the car. Crikey, it's quite glary now. Sorry, the sun wasn't out when I set off. But yeah, no warning lights at all on the dashboard, and there never has been whilst we've driven the car. I'll do the temperature gauge a little bit later in the video because I like to do the videos from cold, because if there's any issues with cars, they do tend to show themselves up when cold but also when warm, so obviously we'll have an ample opportunity to do that. The engines are brilliant, absolutely brilliant. I've always said it, and this one's no different. They're smooth and quiet, very refined indeed. Cam chain driven, so there's no cam belts to worry about on them. And they've got a reputation for taking absolutely massive mileages in their stride. When we've seen them, we don't buy them with the big mileages because that's not what we do as a company, but I've seen them with well over 200,000 miles still sounding as sweet as a nut. And in fact, we've taken a few as part exchanges with mileages even higher than that and still driving absolutely beautifully. But more to the point, it's an engine that is just a lovely unit to use day in, day out, because unlike so many diesels, which are kind of one-trick ponies, they tend to get to these kind of revs and then just die and fall away. This one keeps pulling all the way around. Not that you have to the whole time, but it does it, and it's got urge all through the rev range, but also sounds very smooth and refined at all times. It doesn't get harsh. Engine then feeds through into the automatic gearbox. Very well done gearbox, as you'd expect from Honda. Actually originates from the old Honda Legend, in all honesty, because Honda didn't have a gearbox at the time of producing the diesel autos that could cope with the torque demands of the engine. So rather than engineer completely one from fresh, they went completely overkill in terms of engineering and gave it the one like the Legend, which is designed to take it much more torque and much more power, in fact double the power. So its reputation goes before it. They're incredibly strong. Gear changes very smooth, and let's say notwithstanding reputation, you should just make absolutely certain that when the gears engage, they do so smoothly, especially when you're selecting drive or reverse from stationary, just to make sure there's no delays or great funks as they change gear. And there's nothing on this one. It drives absolutely as it should. Steering on the car on these cars is really, really nice. I've always marveled with the CR-Vs because don't listen basically to what car magazines or road tests say. They're not. It's not a sports car. That's the long and the short of it. It's not a sports car. It's a family car that has really good steering and a lovely chassis as well, because what it's got to do is basically ferry people around comfortably, but it controls the body, because it's a tall car, so much better than most. But the steering's lovely, it's precise, it's accurate, it's well geared. It also tracks nice and straight. There's no vibrations at all at this speed or any speed up the legal limit. And obviously we're driving the car day in, day out, so we know that for a fact. But a very nicely done power steering system, and the chassis and these two corners show it perfectly. Long radius, loads of bumps in the middle of it, but it's really good body control. And then when you go through a corner like this one, perhaps a fraction quicker than I would do ordinarily, you just turn in, minimal steering movement, and it's so unflustered. It just flows through corners really, really nicely. It also happens to ride very comfortably as well. It's a very well damped ride, and there's no nasty noises coming from underneath the car. There's no chatterings or knocking noises at all. Brakes on the car, just make sure you go around this corner slightly, give them a bit of a shove, but it's a really nice solid brake pedal on the car, very powerful, no pulsing, no vibrations to the brake pedal, absolutely perfect. Going inside, obviously it's a busman's holiday for me because I'm sat in my own car basically, but we've had so many of them, we sell so many of them, but what still astounds is the build quality first and foremost. Absolutely no rattles or creaks from the interior, no buzzers, no annoying noises, and that's typical of the breed. They are beautifully put together. As I regularly say, don't confuse squidgy plastics with build quality. It's how the manufacturer puts them together and how they last over many years and many tens of thousands of miles. And I've taken enough of the competition, which are the so-say benchmark for build quality, to know how they can rattle and creak over these sorts of bumps on the country roads, which is quite often where these cars are. But it just also happens to be a very nice place to sit and operate a car. Brilliant visibility, huge wing mirrors, so it doesn't intimidate in any way. The dashboard is very well equipped, but very simple to operate. You know, a day or two in these cars and everything becomes second nature really quickly. Sat nav, as you can see, they're working perfectly. Air conditioning, which is dual zone, so you can have different temperatures side to side, again works absolutely as it should, and it pumps out ice cold air. Heated seats, again all checked, work absolutely spot on. Dashboard in front is very simple in its display in terms of the dash binnacle. Displays easily taken in. Temperature gauge now running at a third, which is exactly where it should be on a Honda car. It's all in fine fettle there. Steering wheel feels lovely in hand because it's small in diameter, thin rimmed, leather bound, just feels very nice to hold, and feels like new as well, in all honesty, to hold as well. This is a four-wheel drive version of the CR-V. There is no buttons, or there are no buttons to press for the operation of that, because the car does it for you, because Honda worked out very quickly that the majority of people will be doing what I'm doing today, driving in perfectly good conditions on perfectly good roads. So why have four-wheel drive whirring away when you don't actually need it operating? So what they do is run it in front-wheel drive, the most efficient way to run a car, and should it require four-wheel drive, it'll do it for you instantly and seamlessly. It's utterly brilliant. So if you hit a bit of mud or ice or snow, you might momentarily feel the front wheel start to spin, and then suddenly you just grip and go. It is brilliant. And we've towed caravans, we've towed cars over the years using CR-Vs. My friend always uses a CR-V to go skiing. I can't do it, I'm rubbish. I've never tried, so I wouldn't know. But not come close to getting stuck with one, and its simplicity gives it its reliability. As I said at the start of the video, the point is just to show the car in operation and to feedback on any issues. It doesn't, it just drives exactly as you'd hope. It drives absolutely beautifully. As always, any questions, give us a call.